This is one of the most important stories I can hammer into your cerebral cortex. It'll be up at the show notes. Go to Bongino.com/newsletter to access the show notes. Please read this today. Phil Klein, Real Clear Politics. Democrats have released a roadmap to one-party rule. If you don't know about HR1 and what the Democrats are trying to pass, as it's labeled number one for a reason. It's their first priority. You better know, because we will never win an election again, ever. We will be relegated to living in versions of New York City under Comrade de Blasio throughout the entire country. What's in this HR1 disaster the Democrats are going to try to ram through Congress and the Senate? And given how many weak-kneed Republicans we have in the Senate right now, I'm not even sure this thing will be stopped like it was in the last session. What's in this disaster? Well, let's go to screenshot number one, but I encourage you again to read the entire piece in the show notes, word for word. Well, Congress, they want to change and nationalize elections. I thought we had national elections now, Dan. We vote for president. No, states determine how elections are conducted in their states, according to our Constitution. And Congress can't technically compel the states to change their voting laws. This is from the piece. But seasoned politicians know that the states have become dependent on federal money, the federal cheese. They become dependent on federal money to run their elections and can't afford to pick up the tab themselves. To make matters worse, HR1 declares that Congress possesses the ultimate supervisory power over federal elections, an extraordinary usurpation of governmental authority that the founders specifically assigned to the states. Let me walk you through how this works, okay? So, liberal totalitarian authoritarians who would love nothing more than to institutionalize voter fraud across the country and to decimate any voter security measure anywhere. Signature verification, voter ID. Liberals hate that stuff. They can't stand that stuff because it creates free and fair elections, and they can't stand that. So what they want to do is they want to nationalize the election, and they want liberals in the Congress and the Senate to write new election laws that all 50 states, or 57 if you're Barack Obama, all 57 of Barack Obama's states would have to follow. And those new election laws would not be the ones you'd like. They wouldn't be ones that would lead to great elections, free and fair elections we can all believe in. They would be elections like the ones we've had, some in the past at the local level and some at the national level, where we'd be like, wait. Sounds like there was something going on there. Well, what are some of the things they want to do? Wait, before I get to the second screenshot, what are some of the things they want to do and how are they going to do it? I'll get to that. But the way they want to do it is genius. And by genius, I mean genius on the sad spectrum, not on the happy, joy, Ren and Stimpy spectrum. Did I just say sextrum? May have been a Freudian slip. It's been a while. Actually hasn't, right? She's like, the kid is back. Had a little rough day yesterday. I got a lot of compliments on the show. But they want to compel the states the same way they did it with Obamacare. Because they can't constitutionally demand that states run an election the way the liberals and the federal government want them to. No ballot security measures, no signature verification, no questions, no nothing. They'll be like, hey, be a real shame if your bagel store burned down. You know how the mob does it when they want tribute from the local stores? I know. I used to work in a location in a mob neighborhood. They come in and go, listen, you owe us a couple of $1,000s a month. No, I don't. Be a real shame if your place burned down. That's what the federal government's going to do. You're going to say, hey, I want to change your state election laws? Well, we can't compel you. Be a real shame if the federal money we gave you dried up. So what do they want them to do? Screenshot number 2. For example, HR1 would allow ballot harvesting on steroids. Well, that doesn't sound good. People showing up at your house, not representatives of the state or the election board, collecting ballots. That sounds like it could open up the system up to corruption. Voters would, for the first time, have the ability to print out their ballots at home. Creating a gaping security hole that could be easily exploited by either domestic or foreign interests. The legislation also allows third parties to collect ballots from an unlimited number of absentee voters and submit them through ballot drop boxes, dramatically increasing the risk that vulnerable Americans could be bully bribed or blackmailed for their votes without the protection of election workers. Who are the double-digit IQ geniuses who thought of the idea that, hey, I've got an idea. Let's let people print out ballots at home. Gee, nothing could go wrong there. Maybe you got the names of 1,000 people you know haven't voted in 6 or 7 election cycles. You're sitting at your home computer. You get some kind of login credentials. Boom, print out a few ballots, drop them in a ballot box where there's no one there to verify it's actually the voter, dropping it off in the ballot box. What could possibly go wrong? Who knows? Print ballots at home. That sounds like just a wonderful idea. If this sounds asinine, you're probably a person who has, again, an IQ that's cracks the triple digit range. Ballot harvesting. Then you want people after they've printed the ballots at home. You want other people who don't even work for the government or not election officials to go out, the party operatives, to collect the ballots that were printed at home. You wouldn't do that in a court case where the chain of custody for evidence would be broken, but you'll do it to determine national elections. Sounds like a genius plan.